Racing season is...
Future History's had every chance at the 150. A length and a quarter, promises kept. Kettle Hill back on the inside. Future History has dictated, controlled it and won the JRA Cup.
The outside coming at the pen, Muramasa. Barclay Square is hurtling home with Star Vega. Muramasa's hit the front. Barclay Square and Star Vega are flying. Barclay Square and Star Vega. Barclay Square.
Globe in front from Dashing Air Assault, Pinstriped and Nugget. Still Globe, 100 metres to go. About a length and a quarter, Air Assault trying to pick it up. Globe in front, Air Assault a half away. Globe has won it.
Air Assault with 3 up his sleeve. Running on hard now, Midnight Mass, but Air Assault for the all-conquering Andrew Lewis yard will take out the John Letts Cup all the way under Stubby. Air Assault by 2.
Poison Chalice, the outside is coming on. 100 to go. Poison Chalice up to Vedad, who can't go with it. And Poison Chalice draws clear. Poison Chalice won it.
In 1864 moved to a Saturday in 2014, the last 5 editions back to 2,000 metres. It's time for the $500,000 Sportsbet Ballarat Cup at listed level, and what a field has been assembled, even with the scratchings of Young Verta, Cirileo Miss, Torrenzino and Jack the Lad. And that's underscored by the presence of Horse 1, Future History. Take out the Metrop. He's had a terrific spring, including winning the JRA on Cox Plate Day and then top 4 behind Via Sistina and in front of Arapaho in the Champion Stakes.
Yeah, he brings the premium form after finishing 4th in the Champion Stakes last time out. He does carry top weight though, and he's got a tricky draw. He might have to do a bit of weight, do a bit of work with that weight, but he brings the premium form lines.
Really strong, solid, robust stayer. He carries good condition, as you can see there, deep into the campaign. His coat's healthy. It's a lovely, relaxed walk on him. Yes, he's got the weight, but he's probably earned it this grade. From a parade point of view, I don't think I've seen him look any better.
Luke Nolan's Misfortune opens up the door for Jayla Kennedy to ride the 3 Barclay Square. Its first look at the Ballarat circuit under race conditions, backing up from a top 3 effort in the zipping.
Yeah, he backs up, and I really like the fact that he's dropping back in distance. I think 2,000 metres is the key to this horse. I think it's his best distance. Okay, wet track would have been an added bonus, but he's shown with his victories earlier this preparation he handles dry ground. I think he's one of the better winning chances.
Another big horse, but a very different physique to Future History. He's fit, a lot more athletic than Future History, and deep into the preparation and coming back in trip. Dan's done a great job with him. I think he presents as well as I've ever seen him, so he's in great shape for his hometown cup.
A combination of circumstances see the 4 Muramasa contesting the Ballarat Cup. 4th up, he was 3rd last start at Geelong.
Yeah, 6 weeks between runs after failing the vet check in the Melbourne Cup. He's had a solid jump out between runs, and he gets conditions to suit today.
He's parading well. He's up and about and nice and fresh, as you'd expect, with that gap between runs. A couple of handlers in the yard keeping his composed as he can, and he's not working hard or getting hot. He's just knows it's race day and knows the event's about to come. They've done a great job in terms of maintaining fitness, and his coat's in fantastic order.
5 Globe steps to 2,000 metres for the first time in his career, a last start winner of the Cranbourne Cup.
Yeah, last start winner of a strong Cranbourne Cup. Now, yes, he fell in. Yes, he had the pattern advantages over others, but I think this horse is really going to relish getting to 2,000 metres. Those 2 victories at Sandown in fast time that created the big boom on this horse, they were 1,800. Gets out beyond a mile for the first time since, and I think he's going to be hard to run down from the front.
His parades are getting better. I've seen him melt in the yard early in his career, and under the circumstances, he's only getting a fraction warm today, which not the only horse in the yard and Durham today that have under the conditions. He's up on the toe, as you'd expect. He's a real high-energy style of horse, but with a couple of handlers and under the conditions, for him, he's parading well.
6 Zechariah, Chris Waller winning the race 9 years ago with Janoob. Zechariah's 2nd Australian run, a promising effort to be the runner-up to Cosmic Vega in the Kilmore Cup.
Yeah, it was a really good effort there on heavy ground. Look, he's potentially even better suited rising in distance, but he's likely going to get a long way back. This is a stronger race, and he tackles different conditions.
Neat style of horse, but this stage of the campaign, there's plenty of rib coming through. He looks nice and fit, and he's moving well. He's not the most imposing horse in the yard, but he's got a couple of real beasts in the yard with him, so you wouldn't expect him to be. He looks in good order.
Jason Holder's made the trek across from South Australia. He has the assignment with the 7 Air Assault. He's got such a fantastic association with the Andrew Lewis Galloper, and that includes stakes placings in the Chairman's and the SA Derby. The last 2 times this horse has been north of 2,000 metres.
He finished really strongly to be narrowly beaten in the Cranbourne Cup by Globe. The rise in distance shouldn't be an issue. He can race on or close to the speed.
He looks in good order. He's nice and fit, got a good athletic frame about him. He looks in terrific order for the contest.
Ain't no deal done. No doubt suited by the fact we find ourselves on a good 3.
I loved the way this horse hit the line second up. He was a horse I just wanted to follow where he went over further. He was scratched from the Eclipse due to the wet track. He had the jump out between runs. It was a jump out on a wet track, and he went very nicely. He's ideally suited rising in distance third up. This is the one that I think is the complete wrong price, particularly in relation to Poison Chalice, who he raced away from second up, and now he gets the rising trip. I think he's the horse that's the biggest overs at the current prices.
He looks terrific, Ben. He's a horse, and a lot of the done deals do. They carry a little bit of weight around the midsection, but he's really well toned up. He's got some great muscle definition. He's really healthy in the coat. He's striding out with a bit of purpose. He looks in great shape.
9 Banker's Choice has already headed out under John Allen, the 2022 winner of this race on a heavy track. He was 3 lengths behind Globe in the Cranbourne Cup.
Yeah, won the race 2 years ago on a deteriorating wet track, beating a tissue. Look, fastest last 200 of the race last start on dry ground behind Globe, and he's suited rising in distance.
He's out in the track early, fit and well, no negatives, doesn't spend a lot of time in the yard.
10 is It's a Wild Night, was 5th, and things didn't exactly go to plan in the Cranbourne Cup.
Yeah, looked unlucky there in the Cranbourne Cup where he started 480. Might get further back here from a wide barrier, and 2,000 metres is some query.
On his physique, you'd say 2,000 metres as well within his scope. He's got quite an athletic frame, and he's absolutely rock hard fit.
His only crack at 2,000 metres, a placing in the Group 1 Herbie Dyke back in New Zealand in February last year behind Sharp and Smart and Campionessa, no less. 11 is Lady in Pink. She was very good in the Matriarch.
It's interesting what price Sharp and Smart would be in this race. I reckon he'd be pretty big odds in a field of this quality, but we've all, let's move on to the next horse, Lady in Pink. Ran well in the Matriarch last time out. She's tactically versatile. She seems to handle all conditions. Look, technically Group 2 to Listed's a drop in class, but I actually think it's a stronger race.
She looks really fit and well. She's been maintained nicely since that run in the Matriarch, and obviously with racing in this distance range, she's nice and fit.
12 Loft makes his debut for Shane Jackson.
He's had a jump out in a trial, long time since the last win. I think he'll probably need the run and further.
He looks like he's got a really good base. He's getting a fraction warm around the flank area, but he's not looking like he's working too hard or getting overly hot. And he looks like, as I said, he's got a really good base of fitness, but you would think would improve with racing.
13 out, 14 Earlswood, winner of the Gold Nugget here in September, backing up from last Saturday's Eclipse.
Yeah, he was checked late in the Eclipse, which exacerbated the margin. He maps for a soft run. Others were stronger late, though, and this is a stronger race. So I think he probably would have wanted the track wet.
Really fit, neat style of horse, looks in really good shape, bright, stepping out well. I think the type of parade you would like to see. 15
Magnus Spin, third as favourite in the Kilmore Cup.
Yeah, started 380, led, ran third there. Handles all conditions, but his better form's been in weaker races. I think he'd need a new career peak.
He's a little bit on the bounce for a horse going to 2,000 metres, and he's getting a fraction warm. Probably not to the point where you'd be overly concerned, but a touch warmer than most others today.
Patrick Maloney winning the race on Grand Dreamer back in 2017. 16 is Poison Chalice. Paul Pruska trying to go back-to-back after Captain Envious won it 12 months ago.
Yeah, backs up after looking the winner until just being run down late in the Eclipse last Saturday. Never been to 2,000, but off that last run, it should be okay. Look, it's the strongest, just about the strongest race he's been in, this horse. I can't get him as short as the market, but he looks right among the key hopes.
And he looks terrific in the yard too. He's got that lovely rich dark colour to his coat. He's fit. He's moving nicely, bright, heading out on the track now. No knock at all.
17 Cadmus, 5 lengths, 10th of 10 in the Cranbourne Cup.
Nice run first up before struggling in the Cranbourne Cup where the pattern was against him. Maybe peaks third up, but I think he'll need to go to a new level.
He looks fit and well. He looks to have improved nicely with a couple of runs under the belt. I've made him a pick of the yard before in a much easier race than this, and he's heading in that direction.
Harry Coffey on the 18 Strawberry Rock, who was good first up when top 4 in the Cup Day Plate.
I thought it was quite an encouraging run there first up. Hit the line well. He'll be fitter for that. He's suited rising in distance. I guess the query is this is a tough ask. He's rising in class and he might just need one more and further.
He looks like he's in pretty good condition for this second up, Ben. I'd say take a nice improvement from that first up run. Inclined to agree that this run will help bring him on, but, gee, I think he's taken nice improvement from that recent outing.
A field above the listed status of the Sportsbet Ballarat Cup. 2,000 metres, $500,000 up for grabs. It's certainly been the right move to bring this race to both 2,000 metres and this part of the calendar. And you've got Globe, capable of completing the Cranbourne Ballarat double bend.
Yeah, so if you didn't know what he'd done previously beyond 1,600 metres of his last run, I'd have others ahead of him. But I think he can get out in front. I think he's going to love 2,000 metres and he's going to take some getting past. Barclay Square was the one they got wrong early when he was better than double figures. And he's been well supported with good reason. I like him back to 2,000 metres, hard fit on the home track. And the one that the current prices I think is over the odds as well with Globe is Ain't No Deal Done. He was racing right away from Poison Chalice last time out, gets third up to 2,000 metres, dry ground to suit. Future History is hard to knock. He's right in the mix as well, bringing that premium form. No knock on the favourite Poison Chalice other than the price. I think he's in the mix. I don't think he should be a dominant favourite.
Real quality group to assess in the yard, as you would expect looking at the form of the gallopers. Future History looked fantastic, as good as I've seen him. Barclay Square, I think, has been freshened and maintained really well deep into the campaign. No knock at all on Poison Chalice. He looks like he's right at his top, but it's particularly taken with a parade of number 8, Ain't No Deal Done, with a couple of recent runs and a jump out under the belt. Solid style of unit, as a lot of the breed are, but he was the pick for me, number 8, Ain't No Deal Done.
Yeah, Warren, he's been...
Vastly conditions for the Pruska stable as opposed to last year with Captain Envious. Got Poison Chalice here lining up in the Ballarat Cup. Paul's been kind enough to join us. Paul, how do you assess Poison Chalice out to the 2,000 here?
Yeah, look, I've given him every chance with the backup, you know, like he's a horse that he builds a bit of energy, so you know, I'm feeling back up. He's paraded well today and travelled down nice and relaxed. So for me, win, lose, or draw, he's growing a brain, which is all this horse needs to do. I guess if he takes last week to here and just gets a sleepy run off the speed, he'll be right in it.
With what you said in mind, was that always the plan to run last week as a preparation to have him ready for today?
Yeah, well, I took him up to the Gong actually, and I thought, well, if we don't get in, he'll get a road trip and it'll grow him anyway. And Rap, we've done it that way because he's fronted here today, spot on, I reckon.
What's a good race shape for him to be able to run the trip out strongly?
Yeah, look, you'd love to see him up on pace, sort of 3 back, 1 off, and chiming in at the right time. He's a good horse if you get there late. So I'd imagine this race looks fairly strong. If he's still right there at the 200, he'd be one of the ones on the line.
Best of luck.
Thanks.
All the best to Paul Pruska with Poison Chalice, our race favourite, and a heavily supported one at that bend now into 390 on the VOP. Talk us through the map and how things are going to look in the first couple of 100 metres, on paper at least, in the Ballarat Cup.
Yeah, it's interesting. With losing Cirilo Miss, it takes just a little bit of that pressure out in terms of Globe and Cirilo Miss, who both look to like to go fast in front. But I think Globe will probably cross Magnus Spin and Air Assault, and Future History might come across. Magnus Spin and Air Assault could get those really nice runs either on or just behind the pace. I thought Miramasa, Earlswood can be somewhere behind the pace. Barclay Square's probably going to be 4th pair back, maybe 3rd pair back the inside. Not sure if Poison Chalice can get to that spot that his trainers envisions, but perhaps maybe 1 pair further back. And look, I think it's going to be a genuinely run race.
15 years after calling his last Ballarat Cup, Adam Olzanski with the call of the $500,000 feature.
3rd run in, getting to the distance of his group victory last campaign. Here's Future History's run in a Melbourne Cup before. He brings Group 1 form to the event. Lady in Pink, the mare of the field's about to come up. Air Assault was good behind Globe in the Cranbourne Cup. Both given chances today. Cadmus, It's a Wild Night coming forward. Zechariah out of the Kilmore Cup. He's only had a few starts here in Australia, the import. And the $500,000 2024 Sportsbet Ballarat Cup field are almost all assembled. 16 of them. Zechariah goes in. Cup field staring down the back straights. And they're off. Magnus Spin jumped very well. Aerosol and Globe also came out quickly with Earlswood up in the top 4. Poison Chalice looking to come across for the moment, just stuck there a little bit, out wide on the course. And then Miramasa, Barclay Square is next as Poison Chalice now comes across tries to get one off the fence, might be doing so now. And then Lady in Pink and Cadmus and Future History caught on a limbs going on. Strawberry Rock and Ain't No Deal Done. Then comes Banker's Choice. Loft is towards the back. It's a Wild Night. And Zechariah went back to the tail end of the field. So as they head down the back, 1,400 to go. And it's the Cranbourne Cup winner Globe who's calling the shots. Aerosol, who was second in that race, is second here. Earlswood on the outside third. Then comes Lady in Pink, Magnus Spin taking a trail, and Poison Chalice from Barclay Square, the local. Future History covering ground. And they were followed by On the Running Rail, Muramasa. And then Ain't No Deal Done, Cadmus, Strawberry Rock getting back. And they were followed by Banker's Choice, winner of this race 2 years ago. It's a Wild Night's pulling out around them, commencing a run. Loft is second last, Zechariah is last. Coming down the side with close to 800 metres to go. Globe now has company. Earlswood moves up ahead away. Aerosol is behind them in third, and then comes Lady in Pink, 2.5 lengths. Then to Poison Chalice, about to be popped the question. Next is Magnus Spin, and then Future History. Barclay Square strung up in traffic and now being felt for midfield. Ain't No Deal Done next, Muramasa. Strawberry Rock, Cadmus. It's a Wild Night, Zechariah, Banker's Choice and Loft as they come around the corner with 350 metres to go. Globe tries to keep on running. He is for the moment. He leads 2 lengths, Earlswood. Lady in Pink coming out of the pack. Aerosol next, and they'll follow by Poison Chalice. Future History, Barclay Square down the outside. Lady in Pink, the mare of the race, going up to Globe. Globe not lying down. Barclay Square's coming. Barclay Square's lifting out of the ground. Barclay Square did it. Ballarat won't be sleeping tonight. Barclay Square won from either Globe or Lady in Pink. They were followed by Poison Chalice, then came Earlswood. In behind those runners, Ain't No Deal Done, Muramasa. Jailer Kennedy loved that win. And then came Magnus Spin in behind those runners. The last couple to clock in, Strawberry Rock, Zechariah, Cadmus. And then It's a Wild Night and Loft.
Joyous scenes right around Dowling Forest. Dan O'Sullivan, one of a number of local trainers who's got a hospitality set up just adjacent to the mounting yard. It is going to be the place to be in the next couple of hours. Well, in a carnival of fairy tales, we've got just another one. Jailer Kennedy is basically family for Dan O'Sullivan, given the regard that she's held in and the job she's done since becoming an apprentice for the Ballarat-based trainer. And the misfortune of Luke Nolan's fall at Geelong on Thursday opened the door for Jailer Kennedy, with Michael D also on the sidelines. The horse going back under the care of an apprentice who's done a really good job on Barclay Square, it has to be said, in this preparation, but she hasn't been part of the Zipping Classic last week. But Jailer Kennedy with a 10 out of 10 ride, Adam O with a 10 out of 10 call to encapsulate a magnificent performance from Barclay Square to take out the 2024 Sportsbet Ballarat Cup. And look at Jailer Kennedy's celebrations right on the line. Sees off Lady in Pink. That mare's had a fantastic preparation for Corstens and Larkin. Globe did it all from the front to hold on for third. And once again, they have run humming time at 2:01.67. So after we'd seen Irish Flame's track record set in the Ballarat Cup broken 40 minutes ago, they don't quite run as quick as they did in the previous with Dublin Journal, but that's your quickest Ballarat Cup by over a second. A half neck by ahead. These are going to be fun chats with Dan O'Sullivan and Jailer Kennedy after Barclay Square takes out the Ballarat Cup.
Oh, what a result for the locals. That is a fairy tale story. You know, we're all feeling for Luke Nolan, who's been doing it tough, and I'm sure that connections are thinking of him at the moment. But for Jailer Kennedy and Dan O'Sullivan, locals here that such popular figures in the Ballarat region to, you know, get the hometown victory in a star-studded field, and with just a brilliant ride. A third or fourth pair back the inside on a big horse who likes galloping room, to extract him to the outside, get to the middle of the track, let down and win by a half neck on the line. Couldn't have been much better. Lady in Pink, so gallant on the speed. She's just a good horse, Warren Huntley and Globe. Well, most of the other horses on pace have dropped right out the back of the TV screen. He's been sensational. But on a brilliant Ballarat Cup day, Warren, sun shining, that just caps things off with the locals taking out the feature.
That's such a great story, and how brave was Globe riding the speed. But the story is Jayla Kennedy. Was she going to? We had Mick D, then we had Luke Nolan, and then with the unfortunate incidents with those two riders, Jayla got back on Berkeley Square, and I'm sure Dan O'Sullivan would be absolutely thrilled with the result.
Dan O'Sullivan joins us after Berkeley Square, ridden by Jayla Kennedy, takes out the 2024 Sportsbet Ballarat Cup. Can you process what's just happened?
It's bloody brilliant. It's great. For lots of reasons, just for the horse, for Jayla, for this. A lot of support here today. You know, we backed the horse, we backed ourselves to back him up and get the job done.
So in the last 8 days, Michael D falls off, Luke Nolan goes on in the Zipping Classic. Horse runs admirably. What are you thinking Thursday afternoon when Luke unfortunately has his incident? You're running out of luck pretty quickly.
Yeah, I must admit I was watching Jayla pretty carefully going to the barriers even to make sure she didn't fall off on the way around. And mentioned to Luke, look, it was Luke's idea to really contemplate backing the horse up into this race. And, you know, like, our thoughts are with Luke sitting at home. He could have been on the horse doing the same job. But credit to Jayla, she took up the reins last night, and from barrier 2 she said she wasn't going to the fence, and she rode it absolutely perfectly and timed the run to the minute. So, no, really good result.
What about this horse who just keeps digging and digging and digging for you?
Yeah, he's a machine, isn't he? Like, he's sound, tries every time. Doesn't look like he's going fast, but he's got a massive stride on him. And look, it's just a big thrill for my team back home. Team at home, they do all the hard work. You know, he's a horse that's had a few little setbacks along his way, injured himself a few times, and, you know, with his foot, and he's been, you know, he's a big horse, he's a bit clumsy at times, and this girl's done a great job riding work, and see the other ones at home, and Damo who's here today, and, you know, we do a lot of miles walking him around and keeping him happy, so, no, it's just a big thrill and a big relief.
Can we negotiate with Peter Downs to keep that marquee of yours open a little bit longer tonight?
I think it'll be open for a fair while.
Dan, we're so happy for you. Well done.
Thanks, Nige.
Jayla Kennedy joins us after riding Berkeley Square, her favourite horse, the Ballarat Cup. How are you?
Oh my God, honestly, I can't believe it. Obviously, condolences to Luke. He was meant to be aboard today, and I'm just so thankful that I was given the opportunity to get on him today.
The smiles and the fist pump across the line looked like it had turned to tears when you had a moment to yourself down the back. Tell us what was going through your mind then.
I couldn't believe it, to be honest. I'm just so lucky to be in the position that I am, and this horse has taken me on such a journey over the spring, and I can't thank Dan, the whole team, you know, Damo, sort of Michaela, Quinn, just everybody. Ben, we're only a little team, but to come out and win our hometown cup is something that I think we're going to celebrate for quite a while.
Given the draw and the setup on paper, Jayla, I think a lot of people were perhaps happy to sit back and think, well, can an apprentice pull this ride off? You had a very, very clear plan. Tell us about that and then how you got it done.
I just wanted to begin as good as I could. I didn't want to be giving them, I didn't want to give any sort of ground from the gates, and he jumped well. There was obviously good speed, which I anticipated. I was happy enough with how things were unfolding sort of in the first furlong, and I seen the favourite there out on a limb 3 wide, and I probably was a little bit of a pest, I could say, to him, and I really made him work and stay out there, and I just knew I had the horse underneath me to be able to sort of give him a squeeze and dig up there, and when I wanted him to come back, he'd come straight back to me, and that's what he did. And from then on, we followed the right horses, the gap opened up, and God, he's so good over 2,000.
What do you love about him?
everything. He's just so easy to deal with at home. He's got the biggest personality, and obviously he was quite sick as a young horse, so he was handled a lot, and he's very cuddly, and I just love him. He's like a big teddy bear.
Where are Mum and Dad tuning in?
From home, yeah, they'll be screaming, and my grandparents, all my family at home, and yeah, that one was for them.
J-Lo, bravo. Let you go get your hands on that cup.
Thank you.
Massa, Strawberry Rock Cadmus, It's a Wild Night, Zechariah, Banker's Choice and Loft as they come around the corner with 350 metres to go. Globe tries to keep on running, he is for the moment. He leads 2 lengths Earlswood. Lady in Pink coming out of the pack, Aerosol next, and they'll follow by Poison Chalice, Future History, Barclay Square down the outside. Lady in Pink, the mare of the race, going up to Globe. Globe not lying down. Barclay Square's coming. Barclay Square's lifting out of the ground. Barclay Square did it. Ballarat won't be sleeping tonight.